Some love stories are measured not by the time two people spend together, but by the distance they are willing to endure for one another. John Tyree was a young soldier serving in the military. Quiet and somewhat directionless, he often found it easier to keep his emotions to himself than to connect with the people around him. The one constant in his life was his father, a reserved man who struggled to express his feelings but cared deeply for his son. Everything changed when John met Savannah. During a leave from the army, he encountered her on a sunny beach, and what began as a chance meeting quickly grew into something special. Savannah was kind, intelligent, and full of compassion. She saw goodness in people and had a way of bringing light into every room she entered. As they spent time together, they fell deeply in love. For John, being with Savannah felt like discovering a future he had never imagined. For Savannah, John was someone worth believing in despite the uncertainties of military life. Their connection was genuine, and before long, they were dreaming about the day they could finally be together. But reality soon intervened. John's leave came to an end, and he had to return to service. Suddenly, their relationship depended on letters, phone calls, and the hope that distance would not weaken what they shared. For a time, their letters became lifelines. Each message carried pieces of their hearts across the miles. Through those words, they shared their fears, hopes, and promises for the future. The letters kept their love alive, even when they were separated by entire oceans. Then, the world changed. After the tragic events of September 11th, John made the difficult decision to extend his military service. He felt a responsibility to continue serving, even though it meant spending more time away from Savannah. The decision created a growing strain on their relationship. Months turned into years, and the distance between them became harder to bear. Life continued moving forward, bringing challenges neither had expected. Though their feelings remained strong, circumstances slowly began pulling them in different directions. Eventually, John received heartbreaking news. Savannah had married someone else. The revelation shattered him. The future he had imagined disappeared in an instant, leaving him to wonder how something that once felt so certain could have changed so dramatically. Yet as time passed, John came to understand that love is often more complicated than simply wanting to be together. Sometimes people make difficult choices, not because they care less, but because life places responsibilities and hardships in their path. Years later, their lives crossed again. The feelings they had once shared had never completely disappeared. Though much had changed, the bond between them remained, shaped by memories, sacrifice, and the passage of time. Through it all, John matured into a man capable of understanding love in a deeper way. He learned that true love is not always about possession or perfect timing. Sometimes it means putting another person's happiness above your own. Because Dear John is more than a romance. It is a story about devotion, sacrifice, and the challenges that distance and time can place on even the strongest relationships. It reminds us that love does not always follow the path we expect. Sometimes it arrives unexpectedly, changes us forever, and remains a part of us long after circumstances force us apart. And sometimes, the letters we write carry far more than words. They carry pieces of our hearts,